First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to come down and talk with me at this parent teacher conference about Reese. He is such a joy to have in the classroom. I really do love listening to him and watching him learn and grow. He's progressed a lot so far this year, and I'm excited to see. Um, how much more progression he can make, especially through some of the things we're going to talk about today. So, something that I love about Reese is that he's always so eager to learn. And even when something is difficult for him, he doesn't give up. And I think that is such a great characteristic to have as a learner. And I think that he will do well in school because of that. He's such a positive little boy, even when things are hard. So that is just something that I really love about Reese. So the assessment that I did most recently was our alphabet test. And Reese sang the song to me, and he knows nearly all of the letter names. He can recognize nearly all the letters as well, which is so important because what comes next is reading. And if he doesn't have those letters solidified, reading might be more difficult and it might take more time to learn. But he's definitely on the right track. We just need to catch up on just a few of the letters. So, when he sang the song to me, we went through the LMNOP part, and I didn't have him point at the letters the first time. I just let him sing it. And then when he pointed to the letters, he pointed to L and said LMNOP. So just working on differentiating the letters with all the sounds that come out, because that part of the song is quick. So just having him point LMNOP. And he has to slow the song down, and sometimes he doesn't love that because he likes to do it fast because he wants to show me how much he knows. But when he slows it down, he can get it. So just practicing saying them one at a time, just to clarify each letter as its own separate in his mind, so he can carry that with him to reading like we talked about earlier. And the only other two letters that he really is semi-confused about are V and Y. So when he sings the alphabet song, because the song is already in order for him, he can identify them no problem. But when given an individual card with a Y or with a V on it, he always says that it's a Y because the tops of those letters look exactly the same. Which is actually something that I asked him about, and he thoroughly explained to me in a very articulated way that the V and the Y both have those two lines that come, and so he told me what was hard about it for him. So he's just amazing to work with. He knew exactly what he needed help with. Those areas are easy to confuse. So we have been practicing looking at charts and then looking at just Y and V specifically. And when we do these, when we look at these two letters together, just pointing out that Y is the one that has a line at the bottom is really helpful. So playing matching games are fun. There's lots of apps that are educational, that have the alphabet on them. And because he knows all of the other letters really well, just focusing on these two, you can throw in some other letters in there that he knows, and it helps him feel more positive because he can get most of them. And then if he struggles with Y and V, it's only one or two that he's not getting, and it's more positive for him. It's a more positive experience, and it'll encourage him to continue to practice them. So you can easily do this at home. I have charts around my classroom that I just keep so that they're exposed to the letters all the time. So you can print out a chart, you can write the letters on a piece of paper and tape them where he plays, or put them on his toys, whatever, just so that he's seeing them and saying them more often. So, and then Reese, again, is very, very positive when he's learning, and he's really confident too. Even if he's wrong when he sees that V and he says why, he's very confident about it. So I think we can play off that confidence, and he'll be able to master all 26 letters in no time. Something else I really love about Reese is that he's so observant, looking at the way that the letters are shaped, and he's already in the perfectly right mindset to be able to learn to tell these letters apart. And we just need to give him specifically the tool of what about the letters makes them different. And once he recognizes that, because he's so observant and he recognized it before we even worked on it, he'll get it, no problem. So, some things that we can do, some things we've been doing at school is when we do small groups and we're working one-on-one, even with Reese, we just have him point to the V and say, V has a point, and then we point to the Y and say, Y has a line. And as he's repeating these, every time he touches the letter, it's important for him to touch it, because when he's touching it, it means he's looking at it. It's really easy as a child who doesn't have a large attention span to glance at the letter and look somewhere else and just kind of say the first thing that comes to mind. So if he's pointing and remembering that V has a point and Y has a line, and looking at the letter, then he can get it. So enough repetition of that will solidify it in his mind, and that's really the goal here, is repetition. So at home, we can really capitalize on this. In the classroom, I have things like the charts I was talking about earlier. So you could put up charts in the bathroom, in his bedroom, by his toys. It's really an important thing just to have them everywhere. So bath toys that are letters, fridge magnets, those little fridge magnet letters, put them anywhere and everywhere. And challenge him, because every little boy loves a challenge. Challenge him to go around the house and find all the V's and find all the Y's and put them into different piles. And you can make games out of it, treasure hunt, whatever, do whatever creative thing comes to mind. But really including his interests in them. So putting the letters by things that he likes to do will help him be positive about it still. So again, just to recap, our main goal for Reese is to master the alphabet. So just making sure L, M, N, O, and P are all separate, and making sure that Y and V are separate. He tends to say Y when he's looking at V. But if he sees Y, he says Y pretty well. So it's not that he's flipping them, it's just that the V looks like a part of the Y, and so it just is Y. He knows the name V, and he can remember it. It's just a matter of differentiating it. So, which is amazing that he told me what was confusing him, because now we can tell him exactly how to differentiate it. We can make a lot of progress if we continue to do this at school and at home simultaneously, so he's getting it all the time. Again, that exposure is what will boost him over the edge and just give him that little extra exposure that will completely solidify it for him. So another thing that you could do at home is, I know you guys have been reading books. Reese loves to tell me about the new books he reads. And so while you're sitting down and reading these books to him, with him, let him read to you, and ask him if he can recognize the letters. Ask him a few letters that you know that he knows first, and then point out a V or a Y and see if he can get it. If he gets it wrong, just remind him, oh, what does it have at the bottom? Point or a line, and that'll help him differentiate between the two. And enough repeated practice of this again will help him get it. And at the rate and how much he likes to learn, he'll get this in no time. I just want to say again, thank you so much for coming, and let me know if you need any sort of materials to take home. Let me know if you feel like something's not working, or if you have questions, or if there's anything I can email you or send you that will help. And let me know. My door is always open, and you can always contact me through the information on the sheet I gave you at the beginning of the year.